CCMA has ordered bus company Putco to pay 7% of the 9% wage increases they'd agreed on with bus drivers. The remaining 2% must be paid in January next year. Now, Putco has also been ordered to pay bonuses this year. A near month-long national bus strike earlier this year severely impacted commuters, but ended when a 2-year wage deal was reached. Well, the bus operator also, with other companies, applied to be excluded from the wage deal due to financial constraints. We're joined now in our Cape Town studio by SATAWU's spokesperson, Zanele Sabela. Zanele, thank you very much for joining us. Talk to us about, firstly, I think your reaction to that CCMA ruling.
Hi, Toli. Thank you very much. So that ruling is actually by the exemption authority of the bargaining council for bus sector. It came through to us on Friday, and what it found was that, you know, that Putco, along with Golden Arrow, Algoa Bus, and 2 other smaller companies have actually applied for an exemption. And we had the Putco hearing some time ago, and then so this outcome, we're very happy about it, because workers especially are ecstatic, because, you know, they went on strike for nearly a month, like you say, and then to be told that they wouldn't be getting this particular increase, they were disappointed. The increase was 9% for the first year and 8% for the second year. So what the authority has said is that Putco can, from the 1st of April, when the increase was supposed to have been paid, pay 7%, and then by next year in January they must pay the remaining 2%. In terms of bonuses, the authority has said that it's too soon for Putco to be able to tell that it can't pay bonuses at the end of the year. So they've made sure that, you know, if Putco finds itself tightly squeezed towards the end of the year, then they can come back and reapply again. But it's too early right now, so bonuses will be paid. We're really happy about that. And today, I wonder if you know, we're actually having a hearing for Golden Arrow. We've made submissions and we'll be making oral submissions today, because Golden Arrow has also applied for an exemption.
So what does this mean then for your members, Ms. Zanele? What exactly does that, what accrues to them?
Okay, so for the members at Putco, they will get their increase. They'll get a 7% increase backdated to April the 1st. Unfortunately for April, it will only be for April, from April the 1st to the 17th. And then the time they went on strike, which was from the 18th of April, then they won't get anything for that time, but then, and then it will resume again for the next month. So they will be getting their increase. However, what is happening with Golden Arrow, which is here in Cape Town, is Golden Arrow has paid the 9% increase for this year, but they have applied to have an exemption for the 8% for next year. And so today we're sitting down to have that hearing. All the 5 unions have made submissions, and they'll be making oral submissions, and the exemption authority will be hearing that and then take those into consideration and come back to us with an outcome. But what is very interesting for Golden Arrow is, unlike Putco, Putco had said that it can't afford to pay the increase. Golden Arrow, however, on the other side, can afford to. So we're wondering why they don't want to. Last year, in the last financial year, Golden Arrow made a profit of more than 300 million. It's 11% up. They made revenue of 1.7 billion. So we're just wondering, and also in the same exemption, they're wanting to get rid of progression pay, which is that is given for drivers who have been with them for a long time, and so it's sort of like rewarding them for their loyalty, for having stayed with the company for so long, but they also want to take that away. And because affordability is not the problem, we're wondering why they want to do it.
The ruling by the CCMA is one thing, but getting a commitment from the bus companies to say, yes, indeed, we now have the money, whereas previously we were pleading poverty. Is that commitment there? Has it been signed on the dotted line that indeed Putco will commit to this?
Okay, Putco has to commit to this, because what happened is when we had the hearing for Putco, there was a CCMA commissioner, but then there was also another commissioner who is a chartered accountant by profession. So he obviously he scrutinized their books. When we had the hearing, he asked them serious questions, and he asked them to submit more documents, and he obviously had us sit down and he looked into their finances, and he found that this money could be afforded. So this is why we're sitting here. So they do have to pay because they are part of the bargaining council. There's a main collective agreement. They have to comply with it. So that's what's happened there. Unfortunately, they can't get away from it. They have to make do and make sure that those increases are paid.
All right, just wrapping up, will the same approach apply to Golden Arrow, that you believe can actually afford these wage increases?
Yeah, because we don't understand why they all of a sudden don't want to. And what they have actually said is next year, what they plan to do is look at the lowest paid employee, calculate 8% on his salary, and then give that to everyone else, the rand value to everyone else. So that doesn't quite make sense that you would, and this just applies to, it doesn't apply to management. So everyone else who's in the bargaining unit will receive the same rand value increase. It defies logic.
All right, thank you very much for your time. That was Zanele Sabela. She speaks for trade union SATAWU, the transport union. Well.